Hello everybody, welcome back to another Classroom Gaming video, and today I had a funny idea to do something I haven't really done in a while, another versus video. I quite liked the other ones I've done some in the past, and I basically wanted to do them again, I didn't really have the idea until earlier. My friend texted me. I can't remember what I was watching. I was watching the video, and he texts me, and he goes, "Who would win?" And it's like the Kodiak bear or the polar bear, and I'm like, interesting. And I thought about it, and I calculated, and I come up with my conclusion, and I sent him back my result. I don't know what should I say. No, I'll leave it to the end. So I'm going to factor everything together today in this video, and I'm going to tell you guys why I think that the bear wins, the one that I have in mind, why it would win, and why I think it would win. So you take into account size. Polar bears tend to be much bigger, but we're going on average. Alright, so we're going on average. If you take the average polar bear, if you take the average Kodiak bear, Kodiak bears are obviously a subspecies of brown bears, and they're much bigger than brown bears normally. I think that could be a fault. I don't want to start this video off with a fault or a flaw in my logic, but I should be correct. I think so, yeah. I think they're bigger, but I could be wrong. Basically, if you take the average, polar bears are much bigger averagely. So if you take the average polar bear and the average Kodiak bear, the average polar bear is much bigger. However, what people get the misconception people have is basically when you saw this trend on TikTok about like the biggest bear ever caught, and it was a really big Kodiak bear. For the record, this isn't the average Kodiak bear. This was just a one. This was a 1 in 100 massive fucking Kodiak, really big. And so when you take into account the biggest recorded ever, that record would be held by the Kodiaks. They have the biggest bear I think ever recorded. I know there used to be the short-faced bear, and I know they were quite big. So actually, no, I think I'm going to change that. I think the short-faced bear was the biggest bear ever recorded. But if you're going on now, if you're going on like modern records, not of all time, but we're just going like now, current time, then it would probably go to the Kodiak, because the biggest Kodiak bear ever is bigger than the biggest polar bear ever. So you got that logic. And then you've got jaw power. Jaw power goes to the Kodiak, I think. The jaw power goes to the Kodiak as well. Claws go to the polar bear. That's pretty commonsensical. Is that a word? Probably not. That's pretty much common sense, seeing as obviously polar bears have evolved to develop quite long nails, so they can firmly walk in the snow or in the ice of their natural habitat and biome. So that makes a lot of sense. What else? Hostility. Polar bears are more hostile. But they're smart with it. See, the thing is with polar bears, they're natural-born predators and hunters, because Joe Rogan Joe Rogan says this a lot, so you probably heard it from him, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but polar bears don't get any other food source or option in their habitat, in the Arctic. So in those Arctic regions, there's no berries or anything, so they have to only eat meat, whereas the Kodiak can get plenty of food sources, obviously in his forest. I don't know where they're from, but they can get other food sources. If we just search up here, Kodiak bear, we'll search up the Kodiak bear. Subspecies of brown bear. Oh yeah, they're in Alaska as well, so they're pretty close together, to be fair. The polar bear and the Kodiak. So maybe two have fought before, who knows. But yeah, they're naturally hunters because of that, but Kodiaks are probably more tamer because they've got other food sources. So when you go with that, polar bears are obviously much smarter, sharper, and more, you know, able to hunt properly because of you know, because of what they've been raised by. So putting that towards my final result and conclusion, I would say that the polar bear would stand victorious, even if you had the biggest versions of both, right? Even if you had the prime, you know, massive Kodiak versus the massive polar bear, even though the Kodiak's bigger, I'd still give it to the polar bear, just because of the claws, how smart they are, how quick they are, and yeah. But I think that when it's the biggest ones, I think the Kodiak probably has more chance because, you know, if it's already got more jaw power, when it's that big, its jaw power would probably be horrendous. So it would probably give the polar bear more of a hard time. But yeah, overall, if it's a battle to the death, I'll probably give it to the polar bear because, you know, of agility and stuff. That's another thing as well. Like Kodiak bears seem to, you know, like weigh quite a bit in terms of fat. It looks like a polar bear has more lean muscle, so it probably means that the polar bear, albeit bigger, can probably move a bit better. So yeah, but yeah, to me, most of the favours waiting for the polar bear. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I did text him back as well. I said, you know, my result was polar bear. I had to really think about that one. I quite enjoyed that. I quite enjoyed being presented that question. But anyways, I'll see you next time. Peace.